you're done with news. You don't have to do news anymore. You're on the video team for reels.
Right, yeah.
IRL, in real life.
I wasn't doing news.
I know, you're not doing news, but there are no moving image screens on these pages. Regardless. Anyway, what are you working on?
Okay.
So you're playing...
Nothing. I was just reading email.
Okay. Mark, what are you up to, man? Come on.
Work.
Too
much work, yeah.
Work. But, guys, come on.
I'm dying over here.
Let's go downstairs.
Go downstairs.
Oh, yeah?
Let's go downstairs. Come on, let's go downstairs.
It's time for the One Up Show weekly meeting. That's like work except with beer.
Yeah, work plus beer.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got a handle on that, right? You guys
Yeah,
can
but
take care of that? I'm just dying here, man.
Che always used to come with us.
Don't you like beer and love and fun?
Yeah, next time, man. Next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Next week, I promise you guys, alright?
What's up, Tom?
Shane!
Hey, whoa, what is this? Is this your new cover?
Hey, you're not really supposed to be seeing that.
Well, I heard you guys had a PS3 game and I was
yeah,
a little,
the rumor mill.
little jealous. Is this the Darkness?
That is the Darkness. We got the exclusive. It's a worldwide exclusive.
Is this the guys who made Riddick, right? Those like Swedish people or something?
Starbreeze Studios in Uppsala, Sweden.
I like this evil blood splatter, dark splatter stuff you have all over this page. Very nice. Avant-garde.
It's a third-person action game based on the Top Cow comic of the same name. The backstory is more to do with gangsters. And then there's this evil called the Darkness that takes over one of the main characters, and his powers come to light in the dark. And he's killing other gangsters and so on. It's sort of a big monster thing.
You fight with like a mag light.
They didn't actually let us play it, but here's the fun part. We actually saw it running on a PS3 dev kit.
So we haven't seen it.
And that was a condition of the cover, to do the cover, and they let us see it. It's a fantastic piece. It's 8 pages. Dana Jongaward did it.
I heard you had some other PS3 games in there too, right?
We do. We have Medal of Honor Airborne, the latest in the Medal of Honor series. We also have Stranglehold from the.
We had that one too.
See.
Yeah.
We'll see. From the developers of PsyOps.
That really tries to recreate the cinematic style and excitement of John Woo's Hong Kong action adventure.
We tie in the interactions and the smooth-flowing, dual-handed gunplay that you see in all the John Woo movies, the massive destructibility that adds to the atmosphere, all the interactions with the world, and the dual-handed gunplay flowing across tables and rolling across tables, running up banisters. All this stuff leads to great video game action. Massive destructibility is a key to the cinematic feel of Stranglehold. It really brings across the John Woo Hong Kong action film. In the middle of a battle, shooting up everything in the environment, flying stuff in the air, debris, stuff crashing and breaking all in front of you.
In Stranglehold, you may get behind a pillar and have a bunch of enemies firing at you, and the enemy bullets will actually chip away at the pillar until it takes your cover away. So Massive D is not only just like a cool thing to have in the game, but it also adds to the gameplay. It's part of the fundamental gameplay.
It stays in the environment. Nothing fades away, nothing goes away over time. So after a big battle happens and you look around the room, you can see it completely trashed and exactly how you trashed it in the battle. So it's a little bit different on everybody's experience.
Every time you play that area, every time that you play the game over again and destroy that area, everything is destroyed in a different way. It's really up to the player. You know, the player really causes, you know, what's destroyed and what isn't.
And another exclusive. This is
SOE, right?
from SOE, Untold Legends, Dark Kingdom.
PS3.
A PS3 game, yes.
Well done.
So
Well
it's
done.
sort of a PS3 cavalcade. We are on the
Well, we're
polybag.
on the cusp here. You know, pretty soon it's going to be a deluge of PS3.
Watch for it March 14th. You'll get all the details then. And in the meantime, if you're a subscriber, you'll probably be seeing it within the next couple days.
I think I'll just take these printouts with me.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
I don't know. It's so much different than playing Battlefield on the PC. It's like way faster, way more arcadey, and like you know, in Battlefield you duck to or you drop to your knees to like steady your aim and stuff like that. But there's no reason to do that in this version at all.
What's good about it though is it's further reason to be both a PC and a console gamer. It's not, here's Battlefield with the controller. It's like, this is a unique game. It's a completely different game. They share some of the assets. You'll recognize the vehicles and some of the characters and stuff. But like you're saying, yeah, you pick this up, and for one, first off, single player is enjoyable.
Yeah.
That's unthinkable on the PC
No,
side
it's
of
never
things.
happened before.
And also because who tries it? It's like you're a click away from 64 people.
Too much fire! Cannot fall!
My first reaction was, wow, this is really like disarming, not being able to get my crosshair immediately on someone.
Right,
Like I can with the mouse, but at the same time I started playing and doing all the hot swapping and stuff, essentially just, you know, looking at another character, pressing a button, and then zipping through space to become them, to take over them, instead of dying and respawning, going into the queue like you would in a multiplayer on the PC game. And it was just chaos.
Suppress sniper fire!
Usually you're trying to conserve your health and conserve your ammo and stay alive as long as you can, but in this game I don't play it like that. I play fucking balls
So
out.
really daring.
The perimeter. We're still in contact. Latitude 2 at commence fire.
In the heat of the battle, you just see, wow, it looks like I got a good 20 dudes on my side. And then finally you get to the last one and you realize, oh, this is it. And then you start playing like you were saying. You start playing seriously, and it's interesting, you know. If later levels, if they start, you know, ramping up the challenge, because like right now we can kind of get away with it, but if they do get to the point where every guy you have counts, you know, and you lose like one of your two guys with a missile, and then you're up against, you know, a couple tanks or something, that could be weird. You know, you really want to know what your assets are and try to manage them and stuff. You're used to all these tactical shooters, Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon and things. And it's so completely divorced from that. It's got the military, modern, contemporary combat veneer, but really it's almost like a superhero game or something like a Far Cry where there's some kind of like fantasy angle to it, because you're really, it's like you're the multiple man, you know, you're not really like I'm the US Marines, you know, you're like I'm the multiple man and I can occupy any of these different bodies that I want, you know. So like I said, I like it because you can have the PC version or whatever, and just on the merits of single player alone, play it and enjoy it, you know.
Totally.
And it'll be interesting to see what the multiplayer works too. It'll take all that away and it'll be a whole nother game on top of that, you know.
Squads, fire and maneuver. Suppress sniper fire.
If the single player action is any kind of indication of what the multiplayer is going to be like, sure, you're not going to be able to hot swap or whatever, but like the guns feel great, the vehicles are really cool, the chopper is a bit hard to fly at first, but you get it, and the ground vehicles control really well, so there's no worry about that at all.
And the cool thing too about it is that, you know, like the PC game, but unlike I think the current gen console versions of it, and then Star Wars Battlefront also, it's got a mass to it and a feel, you know, a weight to things.
Sure.
Whereas in some of the other ones, it's kind of hard for me to tell if you're hitting someone, or if they're getting shot, or if they're getting blown up, or if you're falling, all these things like that. You know, a lot of people compared Battlefront, you know, not to knock it too much, but they compared Battlefront, and I would compare the Battlefields for PlayStation 2 with toys or something. Fun in its own way, but the toy analogy always comes up, and I think it's because of that sort of flimsiness, you know.
Right.
But here, there is some of that. You're getting some of that mass and the velocity, and I think it makes it a lot more engaging in different ways, you know. Especially for multiplayer, because you want that satisfaction of like, yeah, I just shot that guy. There he goes, you know.
Totally. It's not that they don't point out the objectives well. I think in a lot of FPSs that have come out lately on console, they basically babysit you and tell you exactly where you need to go. And this game isn't doing that so much,
especially for
cool.
an EA game.
Suppressing fire as we move!
You know, it's going to have some stiff competition from Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, because that comes out actually a week before it does on 360.
It can work though, because they're so radically different types of games.
Different.
Like we were saying, there's one that is, you know, it's based more on the real tactical stuff, and then the others, you know, all about the risk and the daring. You've got a game where one level you're a sniper, then the level we were playing, we were defending sort of like an oil derrick, you know, and then another, I can imagine it's like an all-out armor, you know, ground pounders battle, and it's like you're just switching between different tanks and stuff, you know, and like there's just so much like potential for variety of experience in that. Massively different than Ghost Recon, so I think they'll complement one another well.
Enemy target is overflow!
Compared to the PS2 and Xbox One version, I mean, does it feel updated a lot? I mean, does it feel like...
To me, it feels a lot better. Like, I mean, I'm not really interested in playing the other ones just because, like, I mean, part of it, again, too, is I had the option of playing on the PC one.
Right.
And so it was, they're a lot more similar. It's an either or sort of thing. But I think if you've got, you know, if you've been playing the other and you just got a 360 or something, and like I said, even if you have a PC and you got a 360, like, it's definitely interesting. I'm going to get it, you know, and I'm pretty picky about a lot of things, so.
Enemy fire! Enemy down! Left quarter! Enemy fire concentrated on our area! Get out, move!
The first 2 months that we started the game, active productions, I couldn't sleep. It was just like, man, is this the right decision? Is this the right choice? You know, like, I don't want to be the guy that messes up Metroid. But after a while, that just kind of dissipates, and you're just like, no, this is good. This is a good idea. I like this direction. You know, I'm happy about it, and everybody else is happy about it. So
one of the things that I'm excited about the game now is the single player aspect. Like because I like multiplayer games, I like multiplayer online games, but Metroid is a series for me. I love Metroid Prime and stuff like that. So I was really excited to see that there's this whole really robust single player. The first interviews that I had about the game, like with Tanabe at E3 and stuff like that, the single player was sounded more like a Quake 3 arena sort of aspect.
I think the, you know, the whole deathmatch arena climbing kind of thing with the ladder type gameplay was there probably for literally like 2 days, and we're just like, no, we can't do that. I think it's really easy to get the wrong impression about the game like over the last few years because we've said nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've been biting my tongue forever. You know, I just want to spill the beans, but you know, we just can't. I mean, it's definitely got, you know, the puzzle solving, and it has the morph ball activities, and you know, it has the sense of exploration. And I think the biggest factor was, you know, is this claustrophobic enough? You know, everything's tight, and I think we hit that. That was one of the first things. The original test was like, can we do this?
Yeah.
So we did that, but what we also wanted to do is we wanted to put our own stamp on it. Prime has their thing, and we're doing our thing. And what I mean by that, the differences are like this game is much faster. In terms of like gameplay time, it's just shy of Metroid Prime. But like in terms of content and just like playability, this game is like 5 times what Prime is. I mean, just the multiplayer aspect alone. And my feeling is that they could have been released separately.
They could have been more games.
Yeah, they're just both gigantic. If you combine the amount of shooting that needed to be done in Prime 1 and in Prime 2 Echoes, that's probably about what you're getting with us in one game. If somebody is playing for 10-15 minutes, what are they going to want to experience? Well, they're probably going to want to shoot a lot of stuff. They're going to want to get that feeling out. So we wanted to make sure that the rooms, we didn't want to load every single room with creatures, but at the same time, we needed to find a good balance where it was exploration and then, you know, combat. And I think having the bounty hunters searching for her, looking for that really kind of was the answer to not filling up every room with things.
Right.
Because they could show up at any time.
graphics look great too. You say you almost broke the DS.
We did break
doing the graphics.
Yeah.
So how has that been?
We just overhauled the engine, after First Hunt. I mean, basically, I think maybe a lot of people think this is just a continuation of First Hunt. First Hunt is First Hunt. This is like we basically started from scratch. And we wrote.
Oh, really?
We rewrote every single line of code in the game. I mean, it's much faster because we learned a lot from First Hunt, and that allowed us to apply what we learned to this.
I remember there was a quote, I think it was like Jim Merrick or somebody out of Nintendo Europe that was like, no, we don't need online. Why would we want online? And everybody was like, what? Yes, it's a first-person shooter.
No, the day after E3, it's basically, you check in the message boards, everybody's like, what are they doing? And it was like, we don't want to let anybody down, so we're like, all right, let's stop, let's take some time, let's fix up some of the other stuff that we wanted to, and then let's put this bad boy online, let's give it the voice over IP. I mean, we just had this huge list of things, and that time really allowed us to get all that in.
The voice over IP is awesome. Why not let people do that during the game, and also why not let people do it to their rivals? Why only let people do it in the lobby to their friends?
Question of the hour. So basically,
you're tired of using
No.
So
I mean, it's a good question.
Right,
here's the deal. All right, so we were playing online games, right? And one of the things that we decided that we didn't like, that universally bothered everybody on the team, was just unnecessary chatter. And there was some bugs to work out in terms of, do we want to like, what's the trade-off between gameplay lag and if we throw in this thing, and those are things we could have worked out. But I think really we were just like, look, with this much time, it's the exact same game online as it is offline, and so basically we're like, well, let's do the voiceover, but let's not do it in the game because one, we don't like everybody just talking obnoxiously all the time, and then two, and then we have to find a way to filter that, and then two, let's just do it in the lobby. So let's get something for everybody. I think is where that came in.
So, hey Mark, you just got back from Las Vegas.
That's right. Yes.
How was
Capcom Gamers Day. I think probably the game, if I had to choose one that I was most excited about, it would be Okami. It was exactly what I was hoping the game would be like. It's got a lot of Zelda elements in it. It's definitely its own game. I don't want to make it like it's its own. I mean, you see that game and the whole brush system and all that stuff. It's definitely its own game.
Looking game.
Totally gorgeous. You can draw a sun, which you're the sun goddess. You can draw the sun on anything, like a tree, and the tree will bloom. Sometimes it'll be used in puzzles. It'll be like a little vine. And the vine will shoot up and you can go somewhere else. There was a kind of a hook shot type, a kind of grapple hook type item, which I thought was, and it was, which was really cool. And the localization looked really good. Capcom, they did Phoenix Wright recently, and everybody was like, it's a Nintendo caliber localization. They were having fun with it. It wasn't awkward.
That's something that I was wondering about, because it is Okami is such an intensely Japanese game in some ways. It's like rooted in this mytho-historical past, and how do you translate that?
Yeah.
One of the interesting things is the game title
Okami. Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Because that's a pun in Japanese. It's written great god, actually, but it also means wolf. So it's kind of this pun.
And it also means Okami is paper, right? Too. Oh, so there's your wolf thing.
Okami is paper, but yeah.
Right. The sequence that I played, you were helping this guy. He's like a swordsman in training. You find him at the end of the cave with this bear, like kind of just inexplicable, sort of like circus bear balancing on a ball. This guy is like deluded. He's like, there's this huge monster. I'm going to demonstrate my sword skill and then take him out. and he attacks these lanterns and just like flashes by them, in very anime style, like that, and then the lantern's there, and then it's supposed to fall over.
Right.
Only he totally misses it. But you, as the helpful sun goddess you are, you stop it and slash each one with your power, and it topples. And then finally he comes to the bear, and he does it, and the bear doesn't react at all. And then you do it, and the bear's like woo, and it goes back to sleep. It's like you didn't kill the bear, slice it in half or anything. They really stressed that it's a really big game too when we talked to them in the interview, which I think accounts for how long they've been working on it. They have been working on it for a while. Yeah.
It was looking really good last E3 even.
I know.
Early on that it was sort of this the color or life had been drained from the world, and it was the job of the sun goddess to restore.
Yeah, I got to see a little bit of it. There's a guy that removes this sword. It's this powerful sword that he removes from a stone, and it lets out all of these terrible demons. It sort of drains the color from the world, and it's really cool. It reminds me of Wrath of Khan, actually, as nerdy as that is. The Genesis device hits a planet, and it goes over, and everything's blooming, and the basic plot is you're going through the world to sort of restore the natural beauty. It's kind of a cool thing. Everywhere you run, as you run faster, you leave in your footsteps. Grass starts to go, and then flowers and all this stuff. It's really cool. It kind of reinforces that whole nature vibe, and it's not rescuing the princess. Let's just say that it's not rescuing the princess, which is a lot of things about this game. As many times as I've referenced Zelda, it's so unique. One of the things that I'm so excited about. I'm almost happy it's coming to America, because it seems like one of those games that maybe it's too different, but thank God it is. I'm really excited about it. So
yeah, I can't wait to play it either.
Milky, look at me! I'm loud and obnoxious! Blah, blah, blah! Look at me! Look at me with my Naruto bandana!
What are you doing?
Oh. Melvin, what's up?
Dude, where's Milky?
I don't know. I think Mikey said they're going riding motorcycles or something. I don't know.
Motorcycle? It's 3:30 on a Tuesday.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm Milky, look at me!
Oh, that was snug too. Woo! Yeah, buddy. Blood rushing back to your head?
Yeah. Once you started doing I barely ever had to leave second gear because it's so fast, And when I did hit third gear, it was on the straightaway and it was like this. Yeah, not doing that. I'm not doing that. I want to be able to show up for my day job in the morning, but hold on, Mikey, can you see through this? This is a helmet cam, right?
Hi, my name is Takamasa Shichisawa. I'm a creator of a Twist Trophy. I'm director. And Sorry.
From Polyphony Digital.
From Polyphony Digital.
Yeah. What stage have you reached the motorcycle license in Japan? Because I know that there's a 400cc cap and then it goes higher.
オートバイの免許は、全部 限定のないノーリミットライセンス。
He went all the way out to get his license, so that way he would understand every facet of riding from 750s to 1000cc's.
そうですね。取材に一番必要だったのは取材に必要でしたね。取材するときに借りてきたり、テストライドしたり。
One of the things that I always felt about like the Gran Turismo series was, compared to driving a real car, was that sometimes pressing the brakes doesn't seem to have the same exact kind of effect as if you were in a real car. Because like when I hit the brakes, I know I'm going to stop. And in fact, when I was riding the Ducatis out here, like I was surprised at how responsive and how powerful those brakes were.
こう手を全部使って握るっていうブレーキを一つのボタンに集約することってすごく難しくて、ブレーキをかけて止まるまでのその制動時間っていうのはかなり近いところまで行ってると思う。テレビではね、乗ってねすごく怖かったと思うの、スピードがすごく出てること。だからゲームだとそのスピード感があまり感じないことが多いので、どうしてもブレーキが遅れちゃうけども、ちゃんとスピードを確認して、ここでブレーキをかけてここまでで止まるってことを身につけてしまえば、それはかなり同じものだと思います。
Alright, this is Doug Poland, multiple World Superbike champion. He's won the World Championship more times than you or I ever will. And we're at the Infineon Raceway. Doug, let's just talk about what it's like racing.
Infineon's a great racetrack. As far as the layout and the geography of the racetrack, the topography of it's got a lot of elevation changes, a lot of off-camber, on-camber corners, and it's very, very technical.
Now, I rode around the track about 5 times. I suited up. It's definitely a different sensation having your whole body in Kevlar and leather and having a Ducati 999 underneath your legs. What would you say is the most challenging aspect of this track?
Getting used to being able to understand what's on the other side of those hills. When you see like turn 3, 4, 5 area right there, you see where you come up over the top of a hill while you're turning, and you can't see the racetrack on the other side, on the downside of the hill. So that right there, you really got to know your stuff as far as when you're riding. And when you play the game, you're able to pick and decide what the right lines are for going through there, because they've got it dialed right into that game that if you get too tight, you run wide on the exit, you're off the track, just like the real deal. Exactly just like the real deal.
What motorcycle do you have and drive in real life?
Real life? CBR 600 RR.
Oh yeah.
And Honda NSR 50. 50 mini bike.
Oh,
for,
50.
Yeah.
Oh, 50 cc.
Small bike.
Yeah.
I always using training. So keep my physical and mental on track.
Oh yeah.
Easy.
50 cc's.
Yes.
That's the bike I started on. I had a Kawasaki 50 cc when I was like 9 years old or something. I noticed that Nana, the developer, is keeping both wheels on the ground. He's a wise man.
So, Ghost... Ghost Recon I was thinking for next week.
Yeah, that'll be good. I like that. Chase game. What else? What else we got?
Shoot, I had my notes here somewhere. What?
I have to say this is This is much better with beer.
It's much better with Che.
Yeah. It's just not the same.